What if I told you that beneath the waves, some of nature's deadliest predators regularly visit underwater spas run by tiny fish who fearlessly swim into their mouths? That somewhere in a rainforest, ants have been farming mushrooms for over 50 million years, longer than humans have practiced agriculture? Or that a hermit crab will literally transplant living weapons onto its shell for protection? These aren't fairy tales. They're some of nature's most extraordinary partnerships, where species that should be enemies instead become essential allies. We call them symbiotic relationships, and they challenge everything we think we know about survival of the fittest. Consider this. A single leafcutter ant colony can contain over 8 million individuals, all working together to cultivate fungus gardens that produce their entire food supply. Meanwhile, in cleaning stations across our oceans, massive sharks that could devour their attendants in a single bite instead patiently hover while tiny fish remove their parasites, a service worth millions of dollars if we tried to replicate it commercially. These impossible alliances reveal one of biology's most profound truths. Sometimes cooperation beats competition. Today, we're diving deep into nature's strangest partnerships, from the ocean floor to the rainforest canopy, to understand how these extraordinary relationships evolved and why they might hold keys to solving some of humanity's greatest challenges. What's the most surprising animal partnership you've ever heard of? Share your thoughts in the comments. Nature's collaborations might be even stranger than you imagine. To understand why a shark would trust a fish to swim in its mouth, or why an ant would dedicate its entire life to farming fungus, we need to grasp the fundamental forces that shape life on Earth. Evolution, we're often told, is about competition, survival of the fittest, nature red in tooth and claw. But this view misses a crucial piece of the puzzle. Think of Earth's biosphere as a vast interconnected web, where every species depends on others for survival. Even the most solitary predator relies on plants to produce oxygen, bacteria to decompose organic matter, and countless other species to maintain the complex chemical cycles that keep our planet habitable. In this context, cooperation isn't just beneficial, it's essential. Symbiosis, from the Greek words meaning living together, occurs when different species form close, long-term relationships. These partnerships can take many forms: mutualism, where both parties benefit; commensalism, where one benefits and the other is unaffected; and parasitism, where one benefits at the other's expense. But the most fascinating cases are mutualistic relationships that seem impossible at first glance, partnerships between natural enemies that have evolved to become mutually dependent. These alliances often emerge in environments where resources are scarce or competition is intense, making cooperation more valuable than conflict. The cleaning stations we see throughout the world's oceans represent one of evolution's most elegant solutions to a universal problem: parasites. Every large marine animal struggles with external parasites that can damage skin, scales, and gills. Meanwhile, small fish need reliable food sources in the nutrient-poor open ocean. The solution? A service economy where small fish provide parasite removal in exchange for an easy meal. Similarly, in the world's rainforests, the challenge of extracting nutrients from tough plant material led to one of nature's most sophisticated agricultural systems. Leafcutter ants can't digest the leaves they harvest. Their stomachs lack the necessary enzymes. But certain fungi can break down these complex plant compounds into digestible nutrients. The result? A 50-million-year-old farming partnership that sustains some of the largest insect societies on Earth. These relationships didn't appear overnight. They evolved through countless generations of trial and error, with natural selection favoring individuals that could form beneficial partnerships. Over time, some partnerships became so tight that the species involved can no longer survive independently, a process scientists call coevolution. Picture this: a 4-meter tiger shark, one of the ocean's most formidable predators, approaches a small cleaning station on a coral reef. Instead of hunting, the massive predator slows to a stop and opens its mouth wide. Within seconds, tiny cleaner wrasses no bigger than your finger swim directly into the shark's mouth, methodically removing parasites from its teeth and gills. This extraordinary scene plays out thousands of times daily at cleaning stations throughout tropical and subtropical seas. Dr. Alexandra Grutter from the University of Queensland has spent decades studying these relationships and describes them as nature's most trusting partnerships. Her research reveals that cleaner fish remove an average of 1,200 parasites per client visit, providing a service that would cost the aquaculture industry billions of dollars annually. The communication involved is remarkably sophisticated. Cleaner fish perform distinctive dances, rapid side-to-side movements that signal their intention to clean. Client fish respond with specific postures, hovering motionlessly, often with fins spread and gills flared, presenting themselves for service. Even the most aggressive predators become docile clients, allowing cleaners to enter their mouths and gill chambers with complete immunity. But perhaps most remarkably, these relationships involve complex emotional and cognitive elements. Studies show that cleaner fish can recognize individual clients and remember their preferences. Some clients will wait in line at popular cleaning stations, and cleaners have been observed giving fin massage services to VIP clients, gentle touches that seem to serve no hygienic purpose but keep valuable customers satisfied. The economic implications are staggering. A single cleaning station can service over 2,000 fish per day, with each cleaner fish providing services worth an estimated $100,000 annually in terms of parasite removal and health benefits to the ecosystem. In the rainforests of Central and South America, leafcutter ants operate what may be the most sophisticated agricultural system on the planet, one that predates human farming by 50 million years. These remarkable insects don't eat the leaves they harvest. Instead, they use them as substrate for cultivating fungus that serves as their primary food source. Dr. Ulrich Muller from the University of Texas has extensively studied this relationship and explains. What leafcutter ants have achieved is essentially the invention of agriculture, complete with crop selection, pest management, and quality control systems that rival modern farming techniques. The process is mind-bogglingly complex. Worker ants venture out to harvest fresh leaves, which they carry back to the colony in pieces up to 20 times their body weight. Inside the nest, specialized castes take over. Some ants chew the leaves into pulp, others prepare the fungus beds, and still others tend to the growing crops with techniques that would impress any master gardener. The ants maintain precise temperature and humidity levels in their fungus gardens, apply natural fertilizers, and even use antibiotic-producing bacteria to prevent crop diseases. They've domesticated their fungal partners so completely that the fungus can no longer reproduce sexually and exists only in ant colonies, a level of agricultural dependence that humans achieved with crops like corn only in the last few thousand years. A single mature leafcutter colony can contain over 8 million workers, maintaining hundreds of fungus gardens across a nest that extends 30 meters underground. These superorganisms process more vegetation than any other animal group in the tropical Americas except humans, making them ecosystem engineers of extraordinary importance. In tide pools and shallow seas worldwide, hermit crabs have evolved one of nature's most creative security systems. Unable to grow their own protective shells, these crustaceans inhabit discarded snail shells. But many species take protection a step further by recruiting living weapons: sea anemones. The partnership seems straight out of science fiction. Hermit crabs carefully detach anemones from rocks and position them on their adopted shells. In return for free transportation and food scraps, the anemones provide the crab with a formidable defense system: venomous tentacles that deter predators. Dr. Lucilia Gusmao's research has revealed the intricate behaviors involved in establishing these partnerships. Hermit crabs can spend hours positioning anemones in optimal locations on their shells. When they outgrow their current shell and must move to a larger one, a dangerous process called shell switching, they carefully transplant their anemone partners to their new home. The relationship involves remarkable chemical communication. Anemones can detect substances in the periostracum, outer layer, of mollusk shells that trigger mounting behavior. Some anemones will even crawl onto hermit crab shells without assistance, apparently recognizing the benefits of the mobile lifestyle. The most extraordinary partnerships involve multiple species. Some hermit crabs carry several different types of anemones, each providing specialized services. Some deter fish predators, others protect against octopuses, and still others help with camouflage. These extraordinary partnerships raise fundamental questions about evolution, cooperation, and the nature of life itself. How do natural enemies become essential partners? What prevents cheating from destroying these delicate relationships? And what can these ancient alliances teach us about solving modern problems? The development of cleaning symbiosis challenges traditional evolutionary thinking. Game theory suggests that interactions between predators and prey should result in an arms race, not cooperation. Yet cleaning relationships have evolved independently at least 50 times across different fish families, suggesting powerful selective pressures favor these partnerships. Dr. Redouane Bachari's groundbreaking research at the University of Neuchâtel demonstrates that cleaner fish relationships involve sophisticated reputation systems. Cleaners that cheat by eating healthy tissue instead of parasites quickly lose clients, while honest cleaners attract more customers. This reputation-based system maintains cooperation even between species that could theoretically exploit each other. The neurobiological mechanisms underlying these behaviors are equally fascinating. Cleaner fish show elevated levels of serotonin during cleaning interactions, the same neurotransmitter associated with well-being in humans. Client fish exhibit reduced cortisol, stress hormone levels during cleaning, suggesting these interactions provide genuine comfort and relaxation. The leafcutter ant-fungus partnership represents one of the most extreme examples of coevolution ever documented. Genetic analysis reveals that ant and fungus lineages have diversified together for 50 million years, with each ant species cultivating its own specialized fungal strain. This relationship has driven remarkable innovations. The ants have evolved specialized anatomical features for farming, mandibles perfectly shaped for cutting specific leaf types, infrabuccal pouches for carrying fungal spores, and metapleural glands that produce antibiotics to protect their crops. The fungi, meanwhile, have evolved nutritional structures called gongulidia, specialized hyphal swellings rich in proteins and carbohydrates that exist solely to feed the ants. These fungal fruits represent an evolutionary investment in the partnership that has no parallel in free-living fungi. The hermit crab-anemone partnership reveals sophisticated chemical communication systems that scientists are only beginning to understand. Hermit crabs can distinguish between different anemone species based on chemical cues, selecting partners that provide optimal protection for their lifestyle. Some partnerships involve multi-generational inheritance. Young hermit crabs learn anemone placement techniques by observing adults, and certain anemone crab relationships can persist for the entire lifespan of both partners, up to 75 years in some species. These ancient partnerships offer practical solutions to contemporary challenges. The cleaning behavior of marine fish has inspired biological control strategies for aquaculture, where cleaner fish help control sea lice infestations without chemicals. The antibiotic-producing bacteria associated with leafcutter ants have yielded compounds with potential medical applications. Research into hermit crab-anemone partnerships is informing biomimetic research into mobile defense systems, while studies of cleaning symbiosis are advancing our understanding of trust, reputation, and cooperation in social systems. However, many questions remain unanswered. How do these partnerships initially form? What prevents evolutionary breakdown of cooperation? How might climate change affect these delicate relationships? Current research suggests that many symbiotic partnerships are more fragile than they appear, with rising temperatures and ocean acidification potentially disrupting millions of years of coevolution. The impossible partnerships we've explored today, from sharks trusting tiny fish to swim in their mouths, to ants farming mushrooms with techniques that surpass human agriculture, to hermit crabs wielding living weapons, reveal a profound truth about life on Earth. Cooperation, not just competition, drives evolution. These relationships challenge our assumptions about nature as a battlefield where only the strongest survive. Instead, they show us a world where former enemies become essential allies, where trust develops between the most unlikely partners, and where cooperation creates solutions that neither species could achieve alone. Perhaps most importantly, these ancient alliances offer blueprints for addressing modern challenges. In a world facing climate change, resource scarcity, and environmental degradation, nature's 3.8 billion-year research and development program provides tested solutions for sustainable living, biological pest control, and cooperative resource management. The cleaning stations that maintain ocean health, the fungal gardens that sustainably process vegetation, and the mobile partnerships that maximize survival all represent time-tested strategies for thriving in challenging environments. But here's the mystery that keeps biologists awake at night. If cooperation is so successful, why don't we see even more of these partnerships? What limits the formation of new alliances, and what might the next impossible partnerships look like as our changing planet creates new evolutionary pressures? As we face an uncertain future, perhaps the greatest lesson from nature's strangest partnerships is that survival often depends not on being the strongest, but on finding the right allies. In a world increasingly connected yet often divided, these ancient alliances remind us that cooperation isn't just beneficial, it may be essential for the challenges ahead. Subscribe to GeoCurious and join us as we continue exploring nature's most extraordinary collaborations. What partnerships do you think might evolve next? Could humans learn from these impossible alliances to solve our own challenges? Share your thoughts below. The future of cooperation might depend on understanding its past.